he wouldn't rule. He was
And
asked
if
would he use
Denmark
force. He
wants
wouldn't rule out using
to,
force to take the Panama Canal and Greenland. That's news. And that the
Okay,
incoming commander
you're
in chief
making my
says,
point. You're making my point for me. What did he say? He said,
I
"I'm not
wouldn't
going to
rule it
give you.
out.
I'm not going to provide you with national security or defense
Right.
information about what I'm going to do globally. I'm the president. I'm not going to tell you
Yeah.
anything about that." But 38,000 people died of malaria building the Panama Canal in 1903,
Yeah.
and we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to protect
John,
Canada.
John,
All
John,
yeah, okay, yeah,
let me stipulate. I've said before,
yes.
the only thing harder than running against Donald Trump as a politician is covering him. And I don't say that glibly. I think it's true. Okay? And
Right.
I completely agree with you that Donald Trump can manipulate us into doing things. I completely agree. And that's a huge challenge because and look, Bill Clinton did a version of this too, right? He'd say, don't look over here, look over here, right? But it doesn't answer the question of how the new media, including us, should talk about what Donald Trump said today. It doesn't answer the question. I don't.
Okay,
You're not
I
being.
wasn't trying to answer the question. I was offering
Well,
my analysis of what he's
that
doing, and I think what
right.
he's
Okay.
doing is meta. I
Right.
don't
But
think that he
but
came
you
out because
seem
he
to suggest
wanted.
that he was like a puppeteer and he was
Yes,
controlling the reporters, right?
yes.
What should they do
You
to
could
cut the
see it in the
strings?
room, right?
Yes, you
When you
could.
saw when the reporters in the room were cut to, he's like, I'm going to invade Greenland. I'm going to take Panama. We're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to protect Canada. We're not going to do that. I'm going to tariff them. We don't need their cars or their
Right.
lumber. And you
Yeah.
saw people's like the expressions on their
But
faces.
what should they
Train,
be
they're like, do you
doing,
mean
John?
it?
What should
Is
they
this
be
really going to
doing?
happen?
What should they be doing?
What they should be doing is asking about what's actually happening. Like, as they said, somebody said in the middle of the press conference, "Hey, Judge Cannon just agreed with
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
that Jack Smith's report should
Yeah.
not be published."
Yeah.
That's one thing. Judge Burr, talk about the Mershant sentencing, talk about the hostages,
All right.
talk about Ukraine, as people did. What he does is he then says Canada, and then there's 20 minutes on Canada. You don't
Yeah. Oh,
have to
Canada.
follow him down that path, in
Okay.
my
All
view.
right.
Or he
Okay.
that's all I'm saying. But
Okay.
I don't
All right.
care how I'm saying that he is now showing how unequal. You said that the hardest thing to do is cover him, right? As you know, because we texted about this, my view is that this shows that by 2029, the mainstream media, as we understand it, will no longer exist in the way that it exists.
Tell
Not just
people
structurally.
tell people why you think that based on the press conference.
Because the press corps in that room was extraordinarily unimpressive and incompetent. The coverage of it as it was going on Twitter, on the New York Times, but all this it was as though no one has learned nothing has changed. And he is now he has achieved a level of bulletproofness he did not possess in the first term. They can say anything they want to about him, and he has already established he's already established that he can get the popular vote, he can win the popular vote, he can win again. They came after him with everything. They got nothing. He can ignore them. He can make fun of them. He can say whatever he wants to say. There is no fear. Not that I think he ever had that much fear. And they're just going to run. He's going to be the rabbit on the dog track, and they're just going to run like greyhounds after him, never catching him.
But he's a rabbit as big as Godzilla.